their best, they've been in the world ranking of number 34. He rode a couple of weeks ago at Addington, and Horse and Hound said he was an absolute legend. He's been selected to go next week to Royal Windsor. With him today is Sarah Stewart. She trains with Hayley. She is a BHSI, a third level coach. She's trained many horses of her own. But this horse today is the one that's putting her on the map on the international scene. This is Joe DiMaggio. He's 9, and he's again Hanoverian. And his father, DiMaggio, brought great joy to this country in 2000 when he won the 5-year-old class at the World Breeding Association. Without any more ado, I will turn you over to Hayley.
Thank you, Desi, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you to Badminton Horse Trials, presented by Miles Equestrian, for inviting myself and Sarah to do this demonstration. It's going to be a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the higher levels of dressage, but hopefully you'll learn a little bit. And then I'm going to be performing my Grand Prix freestyle to music on my Noble Steed sweeps. So dressage has 10 levels. That ranges from prelim, novice, elementary, medium, advanced medium, which is the level you've just been watching the Aventus ride, advanced, Pre-St. George, into 1, into 2, and then eventually Grand Prix. Now, we're going to focus on the levels above advanced medium, so the Pre-St. George, and Sarah's going to demonstrate some of the movements as we go along. Now, there's quite a big jump up from the advanced medium to the Pre-St. George, especially with the canter work. So the canter work in the advanced medium, we only have 1 flying change, for example. In the Pre-St. George, we start doing changes and sequences. So Sarah's just demonstrating tempo changes across the diagonal. Now, PSG level, we have 5 changes every 4th stride and 5 changes every 3rd stride. And then when you move up to the next level, which is intermediate 1, we then take away the 4s and we add in some 2-time changes. And Sarah's demonstrating a lovely line of 2s there. Now, I find the horse's memory is incredible because all the changes from the intermediate up to the Grand Prix are actually done on the same lines. So, for example, the 4-time changes are done, 4-time and the 2-time changes are done on the left rein, and the 3-time changes and 1-time changes are done from the right rein. Now, this can be really helpful because horses actually do remember and they can count very well, unlike some humans. But yeah, they can count very well. So it can be quite helpful, it can be unhelpful if you're training a little bit higher. But yeah, so the next stage of the Pre-St. George is the pirouettes. So Sarah's just demonstrating a half pirouette, which is the first time we introduce pirouettes into our test. The half pirouette's a little bit harder to ride, I find personally, than the full pirouette. And you're only allowed a certain amount of strides. It's 3 to 5 strides to get around a half pirouette, otherwise you'll be spending your life going round a pirouette if you go for any more. And then in the into 1, so that's another half pirouette, and I'm getting in the way, apologies. In the into 1 level is where we do the full pirouette. Now, the full pirouette you actually see at Grand Prix level as well. So it's the difference is it's on a different line, and it shows the progression from the into 1 level up to the Grand Prix. So in the into 1 level we do it across the diagonal, and it can be a little bit bigger. It just shows the start of the horse learning the pirouettes, and then for the Grand Prix we're expected to do it on the size of a dinner plate, although I probably won't be doing that today because of the ground, but it is perfect, I have to say. And it also they're performed on the centre line and one after each other. So all these tests are a progression to that top level of Grand Prix level. The next movement, which is quite different, is the canter zigzag half pass. So in the Pre-St. George, for example, we have 2 half passes, 1 to the left and then a flying change, and 1 to the right. And then in the into 1, we actually have 3 half passes. Now, it's quite difficult to get these half passes in when your horse is not supple. So when you get to these types of levels, if your horse isn't supple, you get called out. And again, this is a progression. So the half passes you see from medium level all the way up to Grand Prix, but each test is slightly different and slightly harder. So for example, the Grand Prix test, we have to do 5 half passes. We also have to be very good at counting because then we have to count strides. And they're a lot steeper up the centre line. We also have extended counter in the PSG and into one, but I'm going to focus a bit more on the trot work now. So from medium and above, medium up to into one level, we have 3 movements in the trot, and they're pretty much the same. It's shoulder in, 10-metre circle and half passes, with the addition of medium and extended trot as you go further up. Now, they are all put in different places in the arena to highlight the horse's balance, the control. So on the PSG lines, they are done on the side of the arena, and in the higher level, they're done on the centre line. And it just shows how many G&Ts you might have had the night before if you don't get the shoulder in on the centre line, because it'll be very, very wobbly. And Sarah's just performing the shoulder in on the centre line. The other difference in the higher level test is medium and extended trot, and there is a big difference between the two. So the medium trot is not full extension. They want to still see the horse lengthen in the frame, but it doesn't mean chuck the reins at the horse. You want to make sure the horse is stretching over the back and over the neck. So Squirrel's going to do a beautiful medium trot, and then the extended trot is full power, as extended as you can get the pace. You okay to do another one? I'm going to show you the extended. Very nice, and you can see how lovely and balanced the horse is. It really extends through his frame and through his back. So that was my whistle-stop tour of the higher levels of dressage. I know it's very brief, but we are on a time limit. Thank you very much to Sarah. Did she do a great job?
fantastic. Remember my baby